Last week on the LEGO Star Wars Hoth MOC, we completed a huge update to the front of Echo Base Mountain. This week we have to keep the party going and finish the inside of the wall. So let's go!
Hello guys and welcome to Lobricks. Today we are in our awesome, spectacular, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious Hoth MOC over here. And we have a lot of work to do, as you can see, because this doesn't look nearly as good as it did in the movie. And the work that we are going to be doing today is going to be covering up this mumbo jumbo worth of colors and bricks we've got going here on the back Hoth wall. So what we want to do is we want to add some like texture and some detail in there just to make it look really, really snazzy. I do hope so, at least. You know, actually these videos, we don't actually know how the thing's going to turn out when we start building it. So it's going to be a little challenging to make it look right here. But we're going to try our best and it should look pretty good.
Hey, assistant, we had one viewer have a suggestion. His name was Michael Green. He said instead of covering this up with snow bricks, we should turn it into a Tatooine mural because the sand is coarse and it gets everywhere.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Well, I don't know if the rebel troops here on Echo Base, like this fella and this fella over here, had enough time to meticulously handcraft a mural, and neither do we. So unfortunately we are not going to be doing that. I do like the suggestion though. But speaking of suggestions, later in this video we asked you guys last week to tell us where you'd like to see minifigures, and you definitely did not disappoint. So we have a ton of suggestions of where we're going to put minifigures around the Echo Base, and we're going to drop in a few for sure. So stay to the end to see if we picked your comment, and feel free to leave more suggestions for us in the future. But anyway guys, let's get into the heart and soul of the video, the building.
Alright, so first things first, we need to build a Snot front for this section of the interior of the wall. Now what the heck is a Snot front? So if we look in the command center, you'll notice we have these Snot based walls. You know, it's made to appear like just snowy parts of the wall that weren't really finished, just kind of the inside of an ice cavern. We're assuming the Rebel Corps of Engineers just kind of dug out and flattened some of the walls. They left others just like the dugout snow look. So we are going to be recreating this Snot wall for here. So the first thing we need to do are build panels that we can make as the mount for our Snot technique. And so the first panel needs to cover this area, and we've done a stud count from here all the way up to here. So widthwise it is 14, lengthwise it is 19, or I guess I should say height, it is 19. All right, so here is our 14 by 19 panel, and I doubled it up here. So now we need to cover this with white pieces, and I want them kind of angular like this. Then when we're done with that, we're going to put the backing on them with Snot bricks. So let's cut over to hyperlapse mode and cover this with white. All right, now that we have the snots ready and it's ready to stand up, now I have to decorate the front, cover up any hint of multicolored bricks. And so I'm going to do that now. Back to old hyperlapse mode. All right, so here is Snot Wall 1, Snow Mountain 1 for the inside of Echo Base. So let's place this guy on the board. All right, we have to see how high this panel goes as we apply it. So really, the first part we can add any detail is on this stud right here. You can see I added a 2x10 plate just so we can add some details in the blending here. Now this isn't going to be completely aligned in the front, but it will be from the side, so we can actually blend from here to there with the decorating. Okay, I'm not going to do this in the hyperlapse mode because I wanted to, it's not going to be that much, and I wanted to show you how I was doing this. And it doesn't 100% line up, but that's okay. It looks like it blends nicely. Then I want to do kind of the transition of the rough to the smooth. So I'm gonna add that there. And I just want to add a cheese piece just to kind of blend it a little better. All right, cool. As we move up, I want to have kind of I want to use this L piece. So as we add our slope pieces from the side, we also have a little bit we can do in the front there, such as a cheese piece. Then I will do the reverse, going the other way. And one more thing I want to do on this side is do another blend piece just to fill in. And one final cheese piece, kind of pointing up. There, that looks pretty cool. Now I can do one more blend up here with the long 2x4. That might be too long. Nope, actually, I think it works perfect. All right, now let's blend up the side here, and then a single 1x4 to go upward. Cheese slope decoration, perfect, nice blending, and then up the side here I'm going to use something a little flatter. There, nice blend. And then going up this side a little higher, just a couple of more. Just gonna do a couple of cheese pieces. And going up, I'm gonna do one cheese, and I'm gonna have one more flat blend piece. Like that. There, looks pretty good. Let's put one more cheese piece. There, good enough. I think it looks pretty cool. As you guys may or may not know, I love my little hanging icicle piece. So let's put that there. Ooh, almost knock the whole thing out. And then I get my little hanging icicle. And then it's smooth from this point up, except for a few overhangs, which I like. All right, you guys can tell me I'm nuts, but that is some rebel-worthy righteous blending right there. That's some serious blending technique put to good use, at least in Leaky's opinion. Why does this Leaky guy keep referring to himself in the third person? You know, honestly, it's a little creepy. All right, for this next section, I'm gonna have to remove the Millennium Falcon, or, you know, with my shaky hands, with Leaky's shaky hands, I'm gonna cause some serious damage, so let's get this guy out of here. All right, let's snot up this second panel so we can be done. Right, so here is the snot wall. It will stand up once it is locked in. Now the last thing we have to do is decorate this sucker. So let's put some snowy decorations so it'll match its partner. So let's get to it. All right, this side is going to be a little more tricky because we actually have to blend on two sides. So I need to position this almost directly between the right panel and this smooth side here. So in similar fashion, I want this to go up and be very smooth, but we want some transition pieces. So I'm going to need a combo of snot and smooth. So let's finish this side for blending, and then we'll tackle the middle last, because that's going to be the trickiest one. All right, this one is actually a little easier to do because we have this doorway here, so we want it pretty smooth on the side, except maybe a little, you know how I love my little icicle hanging, but then we are going to want some blending as we move up. So I've only put a snot stud on the front, because this is going to be smooth here, because this was all nicely carved for this little entrance. Come on, get it together, trooper. So once again, I'm going to be adding a 2x6 plate as close to the ground as possible. Now I'm going to decorate this up a little bit with some greeble. Greeble. And I got to be careful. I don't want anything to be sticking, jutting out here. So everything kind of has to slope towards the doorway. So actually, I think I'm going to keep this pretty simple here. those. Little guy here at the bottom. A downward snot connector. And a couple of cheese pieces. Boy, this is some close working quarters here. Pointing up. And I want something in there. I think I'm just gonna add just a rounded stud and then have an exposed stud. There, that looks pretty good. So we'll do a couple of 1x3 slopes. One there, maybe stick it under there. There we go. And then a 1x2. Balancing stud. I don't like that. Use my handy dandy L-shaped piece. All right, before we move to the side and blend, just wanted to do a quick close-up of how this looks. Very nice. I added a little icicle there. Let's do the last piece over here before we get to the center, which is adding another panel piece here and a couple of details. So let's do that. All right, so I'm going to do another L-shaped panel here. I'm going to have it in this formation so I can have this down here and put a cheese brick up here pointing towards the wall. And I think that is going to work. I will let assistant be the judge, but I'm going with that. I think it looks pretty good. All right, and the last piece we have to do is this center piece right here. And first things first, we need to build up this back wall. And this is going to have some snot technique in it because I'm going to want to extend this over so we can at least have some plates. So I'm going to build this up first. Put the detail on, then we'll move over to the other side. All right, so here is the blended interior wall. I didn't really show it, but there's a back part of the wall and then the side part. So it blends together nicely. I did do some overlap there, but in the corner it's meant to look smooth with a few bit of snow that they didn't dig out. So there's one last thing I wanted to do this week before I bring an assistant. And that is to show you a little bit about how we're going to build the roof. So I'm going to build up to here and show a couple of the inverted bricks that are going to build out towards the roof. All right, so I'm going to build this up really quick. Let's switch over to hyperlapse mode and just finish up this little section right here so we can show you how we're going to start the inverted part to build the roof. So let's take a look at the front part of the mountain and spin around to the back, which is all the work we did today. Looking pretty good, nice and blended all the way across and in the back. And there is a little view about how we're going to start to slope up and build the roof. Just one little taste there. So with that is pretty much going to do it for the build portion of this episode. Now let's bring in assistant, have him evaluate it, see if it looks any good. And then we're going to put a minifigure on the board. Not just any minifigure. We're going to take a look at the suggestions you, the viewers, brought to us. So let's bring an assistant.
I am back, the assistant that doesn't assist. But anyway, we are over here looking at the beautiful rock work that Leaky put together. And I really do like it. And I know what you guys are thinking. What? Lobricks, were you over there getting into the substances available in Detroit? Because look over here. It goes from that to this to that. And for my answer to you is that there is going to be a roof over Echo Base eventually here. And we are going to be doing more greeble work like this around the base over here. And it's going to be a little dark when that roof gets in place. And it's just going to be background lit over there. And we are going to have some lighting features and some other stuff that is going to be accessible and in Echo Base to make things look cooler and highlight certain areas. So you're just going to have to trust us. I know it looks a little goofy right now, but trust me, in the future it's going to look epic.
Well, I think in the movie Assistant, there is transitions. It's like the Rebel Corps of Engineers like carved out certain spots and they left other spots raw.
And that is true. There is certain spots that are different than others. But if you want to see us go into more detail about how we plan out these MOCs, you're just gonna have to subscribe to our membership for our member channel, because we have behind the scenes videos that are super raw and we just discuss what we're planning and what we're doing with MOCs. But if you don't care, just stay tuned here and we'll keep giving you the most high quality content. And speaking of high quality content, last week we asked you guys what minifigures you'd like to see on our board, and we got tons of suggestions. So we're gonna read them off here, and we did pick one to put on the MOC today. So let's hear them, Leaky.
We got 6. Now we couldn't do all of them because there was a lot of them. We got like 20 or something. But we got the top 6. They're the 6 that we picked out. So the first one is Joshua Smith. I think you should add a group of pilots being instructed, I'm going to add, by Princess Leia, like in the scene in Empire Strikes Back. Rather than next to the X-Wings or in a separate room near the mountain. It says it's, oh, by the way, the mountain's making the MOC look great. So group of pilots being instructed by Princess Leia, we might have that here. Then Tomar or Levy says, I think you should add a couple of snowtroopers next to the walkers, so it looks like more of a battle. And it was actually in the scene, and it looks cool. I do not remember seeing snowtroopers by the walkers. I don't know if you do, but we could put some snowtroopers out here. Then Finley says, good work, everyone. I vote for where we put the Greeble monster placed in the top right corner. And it's a Greeble monster counter. Well, we'll just show the Greeble monster because we said Greeble.
Greeble. Fair enough.
Okay, MOCS D says, minifigure idea. Han Solo in his navy blue jacket, or the Christmas Chewbacca in the advent calendar. So we're gonna come back to Han Solo in a minute. And the last one was NP. Do you have, or is there available, an Obi-Wan ghost figure? And we kept saying we're gonna do the ghost scene over here. Stay tuned on that one. He says, I'm not very versed in the LEGO Star Wars market, so they might not have an Obi-Wan ghost figure, but it'd be a cool Easter egg. Stay tuned on that one, NP.
Yeah, you're gonna have to stay tuned. Like, well, here, there's a little rule we have here in the United States. If you want it and you have the money, you can have it. So you're just gonna have to stay tuned. But like we said, we are definitely going to take one of these suggestions. And the suggestion I like the most is the Han Solo in the navy blue coat, because we really need the scene where Han Solo goes out to check on Luke when he's chatting up dimensional beings. But so we're gonna have to add that one in, and it's particularly the one where he's like, well, I'll see you in hell, you know that scene. I don't know if Disney will let us roll the clip, but
I roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Your tauntaun will freeze before you reach the first marker. Then I'll see you in hell.
Please don't take us down, Disney. We're just fans of the Star Wars community. But anyway, so that's the scene we're going to be adding today. So
where on the MOC Assistant are we going to put this?
I know the scene looks like it's off in a corner somewhere, so I selected this location right in here for 2 reasons. For one, it looks a lot like the scene, and it's near the door, so it would make sense that Obi or Han Solo here is going to be running off in a hurry to try to find Luke before he, succumbs to the elements. So how I'm going to have this is we're going to have Han Solo kind of running off here, and then several of the officers here, which are kind of just standing around chatting, not really doing much to, help the base out in any significant manner, because they're officers that just stand around and suck up taxpayer money. This is the guy who's like, you'll freeze before you reach the first marker.
Your tauntaun will freeze before the first marker.
And then
your tauntaun will freeze.
Your tauntaun will freeze before he reaches the first marker. And Han Solo is having none of it, and he speeds off in a hurry.
He says, I'll see you in hell.
So yeah, we're gonna have these guys just kind of standing around over here.
And you will see, I'm gonna zoom in.
I'm not exactly sure. I kind of want to have this guy in the corner.
That's another second week in a row. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Yes. It's Mustachio!
Yes, Mustachio.
And he is Mustachio. I'm going to circle him out in the scene. There is another. I think that's Mustachio 2.0. It's not the same Mustachio, the main Mustachio, who I think was paid by John Ratzenberger. I think it's Ratzenberger from Cheers. But anyways. That's another Mustachio.
Yeah, so this is the scene we are going to add here. In the scene there are...
Can we have him
Yeah, we can have them
there.
more
Because I don't want
moved
them
up a little
blocking the doors. Because we might have some. On the camera, you can't really see them. But.
Yeah, so this is the scene that we are going to be adding today because in the movie, there are a lot more officers standing around, but we really don't have the figure volume yet to add in those guys. So we might come back in later and add in more. For right now, we're trying to really fill out the space here, so we don't really want to stack, 6 figures out in the back here. But yeah, I do like the placement of this scene, and I do think it is really well with Mustachio and Poopy McPoof face back there, who was youting and shouting all sorts of mean.
Tonto's gonna freeze.
Yeah, all sorts of mean things at Han Solo. But yeah, I do like the placement of it, and I think it does look well. And thank you guys for all your suggestions. Definitely keep leaving them in the comments down below because we're gonna need them because there is a lot of open space here on Echo Base, as you can see, and even more you can't see. So we're definitely gonna need some suggestions. Of course, we have ideas of our own, but we like to incorporate your guys' ideas into the MOC. And I'm really glad we actually did get this scene in because I've been looking forward to it for a long time now. It's finally on the MOC.
This is kind of our first official Tauntaun.
It really is.
We did just put a Tauntaun back here for scaling purposes, but this is our first official Tauntaun.
Official Tauntaun on Hoth. And that does bring our Han Solo count to 3, 1 being right here, 1 working on the Millennium Falcon, and of course, 1 committing acts of domestic terrorism, at least in the Empire's eyes, by blowing up a spy droid. But anyway, that is all we have for you today, at least when it comes to the building side of things. If you want to see more content on the Hoth MOC, I could not recommend enough to subscribe to the member channel because we actually are pumping out some pretty good content over there, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. If not, don't pay for something you don't want to see. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.